Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, the Aussie Government has turned around large deficits into large surpluses. But first, there was another dairy auction overnight, and that was a relatively tame affair, on the surface at least. Low volumes of product were offered, in fact the lowest since April 2018. And the overall price rose just 0.8%, and this was the 9th consecutive rise. But the key whole milk powder price actually fell 1.3% in US dollar terms. There is a silver lining, however. In New Zealand dollar terms, the rise was 2.5% from the prior auction, and the whole milk powder price was up 0.8% in local currency. US durable goods orders for February were 1.6% lower than for January, and the small January gain was revised down. The important capital goods orders component also fell. It is an unimpressive result, and Wall Street is flatlining today after yesterday's gains. In Vancouver, house sales there have tumbled to a 33-year low, driven down by strict new regulations on everyone. Last month's sales were 46% below their 10-year March sales average, and were the lowest total for the month since 1986. Median prices are down 7.7% in a year. Larger declines are for houses, smaller declines for apartments. In Australia, the federal government reported a surplus in their latest budget, the first in 12 years, and an improving fiscal outlook. This result needs to be seen in the light of the upcoming federal election in May. And as a result, the government has signalled extensive tax cuts, almost all of which will come after the next 4-year term of government. Also yesterday, the RBA held its policy rate at 1.5% and has a sanguine view of the Australian economy's future prospects as well, even if they note the headwinds in other parts of the world. This didn't seem like a central bank about to cut rates. Their economy may be doing okay, but their housing market isn't. Building consents fell more than 12% in February. For the year to February, they are down more than 10%. That means there have been more than 23,000 fewer dwelling consents in the past year than the year before. The US Treasury 10-year yield has little change this morning at 2.49%. Their 210 curve is still at 18 basis points, while their negative 1.5 curve is still at 11 basis points. Gold is also little changed at $1,291 an ounce. And US oil prices are firm again today, up $1 to just on $62.50 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is unchanged at $69 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is weaker this morning by about 0.75 cents to 67.4 US cents. On the cross rates were marginally lower at 95.5 Aussie cents, and against the euro we're down 0.5 cent to 60.2 euro cents. That puts the TWI at 72.2, and that's a 7-week low. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.